The papyrus, putting on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you say how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so alive. The papyrus.
Welcome to the Papyrus TV. This is World News. First, the headlines. Vatican breaks silence on Pope's health. Massive shakeup at USAID. Thousands laid off. Zelensky makes stunning offer amid NATO standoff. China targets overseas Chinese students as US cuts graduate funding. Over 7,000 killed as violence escalates in eastern DR Congo. DR Congo offer minerals to US, EU in exchange for security support. US shifts stance at UN, sides with Russia on Ukraine votes. Now the news in details. Doctors at Gemelli Hospital have confirmed that while Pope Francis' condition is not life-threatening, he has yet to fully recover from a respiratory infection that has developed into pneumonia in both lungs. Speaking at a press briefing on Friday, 21st February, the medical team emphasized that the 88-year-old pontiff remains in stable condition but continues to receive treatment. The Pope is fine, but the reason we are here is that it has been 1 week in the hospital, the doctor stated, adding that Francis had maintained his sense of humor throughout the ordeal. The Vatican had previously announced that the Pope was admitted for necessary tests and ongoing treatment for bronchitis. Progressively, the Trump administration has announced a sweeping mass layoff of 1,600 US-based employees at the US Agency for International Development, USAID, with most of the remaining staff placed on paid administrative leave, the agency confirmed on Sunday. According to the statement on USAID's website on Sunday, February 23, 2025, only personnel designated as critical staff, core leadership, or mission essential will remain active. The administration has also begun implementing a reduction in force, with affected employees receiving individual notifications. USAID also intends to launch a voluntarily return travel program for overseas personnel. The agency has been a major target of government reform, efforts led by the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, headed by Elon Musk. Earlier this month, President Donald Trump accused USAID of tremendous fraud and unprecedented levels of corruption, calling for the agency's complete shutdown. A legal challenge from US labor unions briefly delayed the administrative leave plan, but a federal court ruling on February 21st gave the administration the green light to proceed. Trump's broader foreign aid freeze has halted billions in funding for hunger relief, healthcare, and refugee assistance, with exceptions totaling $5.3 billion, primarily for security and counter-narcotics programs. USAID, once overseeing $40 billion annually, has received less than $100 million in exemptions since the freeze began. Meanwhile, on the eve of the third anniversary of Russia's invasion, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has stated he is willing to step down if it means securing Ukraine's membership in NATO. His remarks come amid growing tensions with President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly criticized Zelensky, calling him a dictator and falsely claiming that Ukraine started the war. Trump's stance has also alarmed Kyiv and European leaders, particularly after US and Russian officials met in Saudi Arabia without Ukraine participation. Zelensky downplayed Trump's criticism, saying he would be open to testing his popularity in elections once martial law ends. I very much want from Trump an understanding of each other, he said, adding that security guarantees from the US remain crucial. He also called for a meeting with Trump before any potential summit with Russia President Vladimir Putin. Meanwhile, the Kremlin welcomed renewed dialogue between Trump and Putin, calling them two extraordinary presidents and suggesting that the talks could lead to progress in negotiation. However, Moscow remains firm in rejecting NATO membership for Ukraine and has ruled out any territorial concessions in a peace deal. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, has called for a settlement that respects Ukraine's territorial integrity. But whether current US efforts will bring Kyiv and Moscow closer to peace remains uncertain. Continuing, China's top universities are aggressively recruiting Chinese undergraduates studying abroad for direct PhD admissions, bypassing traditional academic pathways. This move, spearheaded by Fudan University, comes as the US tightens funding for graduate studies due to financial strain and geopolitical tensions. The initiative launched in 2022 but expanded for the 2025 academic year, allows students from the world's top 100 universities to enter PhD programs without a master's degree or domestic university endorsement. It covers 18 disciplines, including computer science, biomedical engineering, and humanities. Analysts say this reflects Beijing's strategy to attract young academics back from the US. A Fudan faculty member, Wang, described the initiative as uncommon in China, but emphasized its importance in fulfilling the university's social duty. Meanwhile, as American institutions scale back graduate programs, China is positioning itself as an alternative academic powerhouse. In a rather disturbing report, violence in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has killed over 7,000 people since January, with many victims being civilians, according to Prime Minister Judith Suminwa Tuluka. The Rwanda-backed M23 rebels have seized control of major cities including Goma and Bukavu, amid limited resistance from Congolese forces. The UN reports that around 4,000 Rwanda soldiers are supporting the group. Tuluka stated that at least 2,500 unidentified bodies have been buried, while another 1,500 remain in morgues. The rapid rebel advance has displaced tens of thousands, deepening the humanitarian crisis, with Congo's government struggling to contain the insurgency. Tshisekedi is seeking Western military and diplomatic intervention to push back the rebels and restore stability. Furthermore, President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo has offered the United States and the European Union access to the country's vast mineral wealth in exchange for security assistance against Rwanda-backed M23 rebels. The DRC holds some of the world's largest reserves of gold, tin, tantalum, and over half of the world's cobalt, a key material for electric vehicle batteries. While China currently dominates access to Congo's minerals, Tshisekedi is seeking Western investment, hoping it will bring security and stability. The M23 rebels have made significant territorial gains, capturing key cities such as Goma and Bukavu. In recent battles, they seized Congolese military equipment, including tanks, artillery, and even Su-25 attack aircraft. Tshisekedi hopes Western pressure on Rwanda will help counter the militant group's advances. Conclusively, in a dramatic shift, the US sided with Russia twice at the United Nations on Monday, 24 February, refusing to back resolutions condemning Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. The General Assembly vote saw the US join Russia, Belarus, North Korea, and Sudan in opposing a European-backed resolution reaffirming Ukraine's territorial integrity. Later, at the Security Council, the US pushed its own text, calling for a swift end to the conflict, without directly blaming Russia, garnering 10 votes in favor and 5 abstentions from France, Britain, Denmark, Greece, and Slovenia. This marks a clear break from Washington's previous unwavering support for Ukraine. President Donald Trump returns to office has led to worsening US-Ukraine relations, with Trump calling Ukraine President Zelensky highly unpopular and a dictator. European leaders are now concerned that Washington and Moscow may negotiate in a settlement on Ukraine without their input. And that's it for the news at this hour. Catch us next time.
The papyrus,